Welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video, and today we're going to be going over a Veronica showcase. This was near the end of the playtest, so I'm doing a bit of the voiceover after now that I'm back home and was recording this off my phone. But let's go into her kit a little bit and show some of the other support characters that we play with her. But I really spent a lot of time with this character because she was just an absolute blast to play with. So Sir Kowalski is obviously a very important card because it has the reload 1 effect, which just gives us a damage boost, as well as a draw 1, which is really great for finding the other cards that you want to combo with. The firing preparation, the upgrade, just giving you extra ballistic card is really her key core identity, right? Stacking up these ballistic cards at end of turn and dealing a bunch of damage, and her DPS goes crazy. The downside is that it is not a guaranteed hit. It is random who it hits, but this Pendant of Resolution I got was also really insane because it just was able to stack up even more ballistic cards for us. So at end of turn, we were often hitting for, 150 times damage, 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how many ballistas we had in hand. Again, the reload here just giving us more damage power. Now, Repose as a card is just so good when combined with Cassius, which we'll talk about once we get to him, but the drawing 2 for other combatants is just extremely strong. But Eye of the Eyeless is a really important note here because it combos so well with the rapid fire, and because it's a main card generation for us of getting those ballistas, just getting extra damage off of the card that we always want to be casting with her is very good. Now, Miwa with recycling is absolutely insane. Getting the extra action points because we want to be leaning into Cassius and going for the full house quest, which gives us extra card draw. Miwa really is all about giving us the extra action points to bring it all together. Wave 2 is her signature skill, but the Save 1 allows us to stack action points for the following turn. And while her starting build here isn't as good as we would have liked it to refine to be, that's okay because Cassius is really the all-star for us. The Joker allows us to find those upgrade cards, turn 1 if we have it. It finds us the extra card that we might be missing for full house, which is the criteria for you have to play 1 card from each character is really important. And if you do, you get a 0 action point, draw 2, and that just helps you filter through so much of your deck. So this Cassius, you can tell with the Devil Dice upgrade, we went for the 0 AP just to draw even more cards, deal some damage. And again, because we know that we want to build him with the full house in mind, we just want to cycle through our deck as much as possible. And here I was just clicking through trying to find the various save data. You can see here that I used it quite a lot just to showcase some of the other cards that I was looking for. But again, really the biggest part here is just understanding that we have the full house capability, which allows you to draw the extra cards and really line up with Veronica. So something to keep in mind is that Cassius as a character can change depending on what team you want to roll him into. So here we're just going to be doing a quick playthrough of the boss that we have at the end, showcasing some of the turns. And again, this is not at all a purely min-max build or anything like that. It is all just kind of what we had access to, but I think it does a great job at showcasing kind of what we're hoping for. Now, we did hit the full house, so you're going to see Cassius's abilities start to tick. So we want to start to build out a card for each character on our following turns. Here we do get the animation, so we are going to get to show off at least Veronica's key animation, which is really nice, getting us the extra card draw, and then stacking up the Cassius's for the next turn. So there's the ballista going off, which again is just going to target something randomly. So of course that is the one downside I will mention about Veronica in particular. It can be really difficult to, especially if you're trying to kill a certain unit, line up your ballista shots to do so. However, we do get the full house here, which means we're able to draw 2 cards for free. We're going to get to use that Repose, which I mentioned, that allows us to get cards cheaper as we draw them because that was one of the upgrades we hit. And this turn, you're really going to start to see that we're able to generate extra ballistas, get more damage, get more copies of full house going because we got a free Cassius effect into a free Blessing of Water if we wanted to heal. I wanted to make sure that we just had the opportunity to, see what else we have. So full house is going to go again, draw some extra cards, holding on to that last action point just in case that we're able to get something else to line it up with and spend it correctly. But here we're just likely going to see what's left in our deck and exactly what we wanted. So we have the Joker, we have the recycling, and this is going to extend out our turn even further and allow us to really dig into our action point abilities this turn. So you can quickly see that we were able to go through our entire deck, get another full house, draw 2 more cards, go through that cycle again because we have more 0 costed cards, and find all the upgrades and really get us started. this was a really fun build to play just because of how much we were able to draw through the deck and really get going. That with a bit more refinement, if we had even more AP generation from Miwa and we had more cards from Cassius, that allows us to have the 0 AP cost, like the Devil Dice upgrade is really important. I think this is going to be a great starting spot for Veronica to really lean into those more unique teams and really start to determine where you're getting those extra card values from based on the upgrades your other two characters have, right? So we're still getting a good amount of damage on the boss themselves. We're building up those ballistas. We do get some random ones later on, but the nature of this playstyle is all about that full house UCS that we cycle turn after turn after turn. We have so many 0 cost effects that just help us churn through the deck, find those extra rapid fires, hopefully create some extra ballistas, which are going to do big damage at the end of the turn, or again, just sometimes throwing out a free 0 cost attack is going to be just perfectly fine for what we want to be doing. Now, a turn like this where we don't have anything that exciting, we want to play a Cassius card and a Miwa card to try to save as much action points as possible for our next turn to line up off of Veronica's attack. So here we're going to go into our next turn with the full house mostly complete already, and we just want to find a Veronica effect. And well, unfortunately we didn't have a Veronica in our opener, but there's 3 cards left in the deck. We have a Joker who is able to once again pull that exact card that we want out of our deck to once more start the loop overall. So you can really start to see how this all comes together, and again, is just a fun starter build. Now, before I let the rest of this play out, I just want to stress again that this is something that could change significantly as we see more of the relics come into play, like the different gear we're going to get, the different upgrades. Of course, if we get the different god blessings for Veronica's effects, this is truly just one way to play it out. But this was the weekly boss on the hardest difficulty that we had access to. Obviously, she is the passion element and not void, so we're not getting the element advantage here. And very easily, because we're cycling through so much of our deck and Miwa has that free healing, that we are at no risk of losing at any point here, just because we're able to filter through so much. And again, that key card with Veronica the Repose allow us to cheapen cards in our deck, so we really want to focus on 1 cost or less cards where possible and hit a full house into hopefully a bigger payoff. And again, just churning through our deck and getting the extra ballista cards, which there we do get a different type of ballista finally in our hand. So if you want to see more showcases like this, definitely make sure to like and subscribe for future Chaos Zero Nightmare content. I am so excited for this game, and we'll be doing a lot more in the future. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of the match. There was a couple of misplays as I was going through this, and just quickly try and record before the test ended, but was still a great showing for Veronica overall, and why I think Cassius is just a super awesome support character to look forward to. But until next time, my friends, stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll see you next time.